everybody, and welcome back to BK's Bullets. Today we are here talking about Batman Knightfall. Hey everybody, and welcome back to BK's Bullets. Today we're talking the Batman Knightfall saga. This is the newly recollected, yet again, version of Batman Knightfall. I have the trade paperbacks, not the omnibus. There are 3 omnibus out there that collect exactly the same things, and I don't know if it's bigger format, it's a hardcover, but the bad part, I guess, that about all these things is that, you know, this hardcover is going to be like this thick, maybe a little bit thinner with the paper quality. So let's talk about Knightfall. So this is 3 volumes of a 9-volume set which now exists and collects apparently what they're now calling the entire Knightfall saga. So they're kind of retroactively pulling in Batman Prodigal into this version, but they've also like recollected a whole bunch of stuff that's never been collected. Batman Troika, never been collected, and Batman KnightQuest The Search has never been collected. So I had a couple volumes previously. I think there was like maybe 1 collection before these 3. These are the ones I've been living with for years. These are Batman Nightfall, you know, Volume 1, Volume 2, and then Volume 3, this is KnightsEnd. So basically, if you're not familiar with what Knightfall is the event in the 90s, I think 94, 93, 94, where Azrael, this guy down here, took over as Batman and, you know, got a new awesome mechanized Batsuit, which is the only action figure I will buy of every line, is anything Azrael or Az-Bats. And I'm a 90s kid. The first time I bought any comic of my own, I mean, I remember reading some beforehand, but the ones I really kept and read over and over and over again was like a 5-pack, and in it included a couple issues from KnightQuest or the Crusade with Az-Bats in his armor, and then the last issue of this like 5-pack was this one right here, Climax, Batman versus Batman, written by Denny O'Neil, beautiful art by Barry Kitson. I love this issue. This is the end of the KnightsEnd saga where Bruce takes back the mantle of the Bat from Jean-Paul Valley, whatever you want to call him. So these are the ones that existed before. So these are Mike Deodato covers. I love these. They're beautiful. I don't know why they're not using them anymore. But so let's look at part 1. This is Knightfall, Broken Bat. So this opens up the first page. First issue really is when Bane and his goons start breaking everybody out of Arkham Asylum, just with a swift bang. And I mean, the paper quality here, you know, it's not newsprint. It's a little bit better than newsprint, so that is nice. And they fit kind of slimly into about that much, and that's kind of cool. And then I had picked up, what's weird though is that it does not collect any, so I'm getting ahead of myself. Volume 2 is Who Rules, this is also Knightfall, they call this one Who Rules the Night. I think it's just called Volume 1, Volume 2 on the newer editions, but this was where Jean-Paul Valley takes over as Batman. He starts off just in the regular suit, then designs the gauntlets. Here's his bat symbol. Very simplified, very 90s, very modern. And then it ends, here's Batman with the gauntlets. And then it ends basically with Batman number 500. And Jean-Paul Valley is in the new bat suit, which is what is here on the cover. The 90s pouches, pockets version of it, which I still love and I think is cool. Then they skip about a year in Comic Times, and they call this Batman Volume 3, Knightfall Volume 3, or not this one, sorry. KnightsEnd is what the event was called, but they're calling it Knightfall Volume 3 in this collection, and that's where Batman, basically, his back is magically healed after being broken. I love this, love this. The broken, shattered bat symbol of Jean-Paul Valley. And what was in the first one? Let's show you that one. This is kind of what was running on the top of the covers. So it was like, you know, an eclipse of Batman, that kind of stuff. So Batman comes back. His back is magically healed. We never found out how or why. But we know that he's training again to get back to like tip-top shape so that he can take on Jean-Paul Valley, who's now gone crazy and apparently killed some people. Remember, all that happened between, you know, this volume and this volume, so there's a lot of stuff missing. So at the time, after reading this, I mean, I was like, well, I don't know what happened. I kind of knew what happened because I had some of these single issues. I had about 4 or 5, but they didn't fill in the gaps. I mean, I had no idea how many titles there were of this stuff. It's amazing how many issues there were of the stuff. Now I have them all. They're all collected. We'll get into that in a minute. So that was cool. But this is a great story. Just by itself. Great story. But it ends... This one ends with climax, and then I think there's one issue of Robin after that. Yeah, and Batman kind of leaps off with Robin. They go on another adventure. Tom Gorman artwork here. Beautiful stuff. And that's like the conclusion of it. What's weird, though, and I didn't know this at the time, but right after that Robin issue, we start with Batman Prodigal, where the first page is Bruce telling Dick Grayson he doesn't want to be Batman, he needs to be somebody else, and he needs Dick to be Batman for a while. So that is collected here in this story, in Batman Prodigal. Now, that's also been pulled into the Knightfall 25th Anniversary editions and all that stuff. So, in the Omnibus edition, which I don't have, you have the 3 volumes, you have KnightQuest, you have The Search, you have KnightsEnd, Prodigal, and Troika. So basically, they took those omnibuses and split them all up and put them into trade paperbacks. I've acquired all of these since Christmas, spent some money on them. I wasn't paying full price. I was usually buying them off Amazon or I think they're all off Amazon. I was going to look at in-stock trades, but I really only need like 1 or 2 because I got some Amazon gift cards to get them all, or most of them. So let's look at the first 3. What's cool about this is that each 3-volume set of the 9 have on the spine an insignia on them. So here you have the Nightfall Batman insignia, and then it's also on the front, so you know like which book this is from. So that's cool. So what is cool about this, and what I was excited about, is look at this thick volume, but it's probably thicker because the paper is a lot. You can feel the paper is a lot thicker here than it was in the older volumes. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but it definitely adds some heft to it. So this is Prelude to Nightfall. This is apparently, there was a whole bunch of stuff apparently about Bane being in here, and the first issue of Bane being introduced, I believe, is collected in here. Yes, here's the introduction of Bane and where he came from. So his first appearance was in this book. I think it's called Vengeance of Bane. Yes, Vengeance of Bane, and not in that initial Batman run. What's nice about these volumes, though, as well as why another reason I wanted to pick them up, is that these have all the covers. The older trade paperbacks and stuff do not have the covers, so you just know it's a new issue when the artist switches, you know, when you get a new set of art. But these have the covers, which I love. So there's a beautiful Glenn Fabry cover, and here's another cover I just jumped to. It's interesting. But yeah, look, here's Bane doing some stuff already before he breaks it, the guys out of Arkham. So I can't wait to reread all these 9 volumes in order and really get the full story. So that, like, Bruce is broken down and tired and stuff, and I thought that's what was happening in the Knightfall version I had read before. I didn't realize there was so much more to it. This is 1, 2, 3, like Batman 484 to 491. That's, you know, 7 issues. Detective Comics 654 to 658. Okay, so that's 4 issues, and Vengeance of Bane #1. So that's quite a bit of issues there where Bane is just working on Batman. What is weird, though, is that this does not collect... Where is it? It's over here. Batman, Sword of Azrael. So this had come out, I guess, sometime before this one. This is written by Denny O'Neil, drawn by Joe Quesada. It was a limited series, new artwork style, like early computer coloring, whereas if you look at the artwork in these, it's pretty flat, standard coloring from the 90s books. But this has shades and blends and stuff like that, like the fire on here is just gorgeous. You can't really tell it on the cover, but the color palette is a lot more expanded in this than it was in the Nightfall stuff. So it is a little weird to read this and look at this artwork and go, oh my gosh, this is outstanding, and then read the regular comics and look at kind of like the flatter colors and stuff that you have here. So, but you know, it's a testament to the artwork that the art's still so good. But anyway, this is not in here. It probably should be because of who Azrael is and how he takes over. I know that Azrael's in this book, but he's in like this weird spiky costume. I just had a page of him. Here he is back here behind Robin. You can probably barely see that on the video. But he's like kind of in a ninja costume with a giant A. Looks like an A, but it's not really an A. But I don't know if they call him Azrael or not. I haven't read any of these issues, so I'm excited to read that. So, Batman Knightfall Volume 2 and Volume 3, or Volume 1 and 2, as opposed to Prelude to Nightfall. There's the rest of your stuff there. So what's weird is like these are the two issues. These are pretty much the same as these. So you can see the difference in paper. Maybe there's one or two issues that aren't in here. Let's look. Okay, so this is, I'm looking at the back of Part 1. Let's go to Volume 1. Okay, so this is this one, Knightfall 491 through 497, and Detective 653 to 663. This is 492 to 497. Okay, so that's -1 issue, but I think that first issue from here is in the Prelude issue, in the Prelude volume, must be. And then 658 through 663. Oh, 659 through 653. So same number of detective issues. So basically, this one issue, this book is one issue less than this book. Let's see if I can do this properly. You see that differentiation here? Not twice the size, but close. I don't think I can do it maybe with the spines. I mean, yeah. So that's the difference in paper quality, basically. Thicker paper, thicker book. Also takes up more room on your shelf, which would be probably my only complaint. So that's that. So what haven't I read all the way through that I'm really excited to read? Well, that, ladies and gents, would be KnightQuest right here. So this, like you said on the spine earlier, like I said earlier, is the Jean Paul Valley bat symbol that he never really put anywhere. This is just on the covers of books. So when Jean Paul Valley took over as Batman, they called his book at the top, they said, like, you know, Detective Comics, KnightQuest, Detective Comics, KnightQuest. But there were two different things. They had, like, KnightQuest, The Crusade, which was a book about Jean Paul Valley, and then they had KnightQuest, The Search. So this is KnightQuest, The Search, and this has never been collected before. So this is, for 25 years, everybody's gone, how did Bruce get his back healed together? And basically the only way you could read this is if you hunted down the single issues in back issue bins, at conventions or stores. And I was on the process to do that for a little bit. I've since gotten rid of all those issues. When I got rid of my entire collection, I figured, whatever, we'll wait. I was gonna like bind them together, like a custom binding and stuff, just the Jean Paul Valley stuff, and get the Search, all that stuff. But I don't have to do that anymore. These guys did it for me. I'm happy to pay them to do it because that would have taken, I mean, I probably would have found them by now, but who knows if I'd spend more on those individual issues than these trade paperbacks. I have no idea. And the paper's probably better. You never know. Again, these books have the covers, which I think is fantastic. So it's like almost just as good as the single issues and what I was going to do anyway. But yeah, this has never been collected in trade paperback for 25 years. I don't know why. Don't know why. These guys were collected the last time, maybe 5 years ago for the 20th anniversary, as one volume. It was called KnightQuest. And in that one, you got one volume with Nightfall, Volume 1 and 2, what I just showed you. And then you got KnightQuest, was Nightfall Volume 2. And then Nightfall Volume 3 was KnightsEnd plus the Prodigal book. And that was it. Now, 5 years later, they've split everything up again, like we're going through these right now. And they said that Volume 3 is Batman KnightsEnd, Batman Prodigal, and Batman Troika. So let's pull those up. I've read only 2 of these. I have not read Batman Troika. But so here you go. This is the spine on this one. This is the cracked bat signal of Jean-Paul Valley, like the beginning of the older volumes. And then what was cool is, let's go to the KnightsEnd issue covers. As each cover came out, there's the first one you might be able to see in the corner. There's all cracked. And then as each issue starts going, they start falling away. So here's part 9. One last little piece falling away. By the time you get to the issue called Climax, or the other thing, full-on bat symbol right there. Let's go to one more towards the middle so you can show this one right here. So here's Azrael's bat symbol falling away to reveal Batman, the true Batman on the inside. So that's exciting. So yeah, so I've read this. This is a great story. Love this one. Excited to have the covers. Excited to read it again. Batman Prodigal, I've never really been that fond of. But here it is again. Super thick. Where's the old version? Here we go. So let's see if the issues are on the back. I have to open this one up to look at the older version. This is Batman, the old version, 512 to 514, Shadow of the Bat 32 to 34, Detective 679 to 681, and Robin 11 through 13. The new version has Batman 512 to 514, so that's the same. Shadow of the Bat 32 to 34, that is the same. And Detective 679 to 681, that's the same. Robin 11 through 13, as well as Robin 0. Okay, so one more issue in the new version than this one. But because of the paper stock, this thing is like almost double the thickness. It's insane. There you go. Not double, but, you know, a third thicker, which is strange. For one issue, you gotta be kidding me. You can tell with the yellow and white. I guess I'm not gonna do all that other weird stuff and waste time as before. But yeah. Also, this is a new cover. This is not a cover of any of the issues as far as I know. I haven't flipped through it that much to determine that. There's Robin 0. But I don't think this cover is part of the Prodigal storyline. So this is one that got a new cover. I mean, this is an original piece of art. Over here. Who did this one? Hard to tell on the front. But what's weird, though, if you look at all the other volumes, this was a cover on the comic. This was a cover on the comic. I love this one. I think this is like Detective 775, something like that. That was one of the issues in my little 4-pack, was the one with this cover, where he fights Gunhawk for the second time. This was a cover, Robin number 7. I already know this one by heart because I had this one as well in that 5-pack. This was a cover, Kelly Jones. This is a cover for Vengeance of Bane 2. Troika, we're going to get to that in a second. Where's the other volumes? I'm all mixed up here. And then Kelly Jones original cover here. Kelly Jones original cover here. Same thing over here. Kelly Jones original cover here. So why they had a new cover for Prodigal, I have no idea. Maybe because there wasn't a cover that like had the overall idea of the book on it. Anyway, so Batman Troika. So at the end of Prodigal, let's pick that back up and open it. I need a bigger table. The last page, not really spoiling anything. It's in the dark. But Batman comes out and says like, "I'm back." You know, Bruce comes back. Of course he does. And they're like, "You have a new suit." And he's like, "We're about to make some changes," and that's where it ended. So you're gonna end the Nightfall with Bruce beating Jean-Paul Valley, then immediately giving it over to Dick, then coming back from when Dick takes over and saying we're going to make changes and then not have an issue with him. That's a little confusing. So I guess that's why they collected Batman Troika. This has never been collected before. This came out a few weeks ago from when this posts, and it was a bitch to find, as in nobody in the Orlando area had it. I called 3 different shops. and nobody had it, and it was all, I'll order it for you next week. I called on the week of release, which was maybe last week or so, 2 weeks ago, and that was just insane to me. So I said, sorry local shops, I want it sooner than next week because I want to do a video. I want to start rereading these things, so I probably could have waited, but really wanted to do a video. So I got it off Amazon 2 days later. Boom, here you go. That's the problem, I guess, with local comic stores these days. As much as I want to support them, they're just slow. And especially when, like, this is a new release trade. This is a new part of a 9-volume set, so I guess I know if you're not selling a bunch of these new volumes of this recollection of stuff, you might not want to order it, but this has never been collected before. So I thought that at least one store in the area would have ordered it. Instead got 3 of them that said no, we don't have them, or we didn't order any. So that was a little weird. So this one is a lot thinner than any of those other issues, and it only has 1 issue of each of these. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 issues. Now some of them may be double sized. I bet Vengeance of Bane 2 is like double sized here, so 40 pages. Here's where Vengeance of Bane starts, so you can see that's pretty thick issue there. 165 through, I'll just do the math here if I can get another page. 219. Okay, yeah, so over, wow, 60 pages. That's pretty thick. Yeah, so excited to read this. Bruce actually returning and becoming Batman, and this also looks to be the beginning of the Kelly Jones Interiors run with Doug Munch. And that's, I don't know if it's a famed run or whatever, but it's kind of what helped put him on the map, as well as him doing some of the Sandman stuff, I think, before this. And then he's done a lot of Batman, like, miniseries since then, if you like his Batman style. I don't know when the Elseworlds thing with Kelly Jones came out, if that was before or after. It might have been after this. But that definitely, like, put him on the map, as well as these covers. I mean, they keep using these covers. These covers were on the last version of collections for these trade paperbacks. So Kelly Jones getting paid a lot of money for his artwork, hopefully. Anyway, that is my video on the new Knightfall 25th Anniversary Edition Collection 9-volume set. Check it out if you want to. They're also on Comixology if you want to buy them that way. And there you go. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, this breakdown of this collector's edition set, or collector's set. It's not a collector's set, they're regular issues. There's nothing special about them, it's just they're new. Everything is here now, and I could finally know everything that happened, and that makes me happy. So thanks for guys for watching. Like this video if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Like, comment, subscribe, comment down below, let me know if you are picking these up again for a second or third time as well. And I will see you guys next time in the funny pages.